All right, Tuesday, May the 4th be with you. That's right, it's May the 4th. Josh Smith, official, Prime Trading here on Instagram, AK47, over on Deckmar Trades via TradeCaster.com. Now let's get into it. It's finally the stock market's, right, back-to-back weeks. You're hearing my voice doing recaps of some plays that have been what? Spiking, holding their gains. Let's get into yesterday's plays. RHE. Whoa, we've seen two halts in the first 20 minutes of the market open. It seems like it's been forever, baby. Let's bring it. All right, so we see a stock, going up. Great, right? It's at this point spiking up earlier from yesterday, and after hours. Where did we start this runoff? I think it was right around $8. So nothing too crazy. So still around that same ballpark area at $9 at the time of the break at open over the VWAP, all the way up to 14 plus, right? So when I, of course, kind of waiting for my play, a great, area would have been the VWAP bounce. Never really comes down to it. Really hits off the old high of day, little upper shadow right there before really getting to the VWAP. So let's get into a little bit, me waiting for my play. Of course, nice little really channel being built here from $12, $11 to $12, up and down, the huge range above it, looking like it wants a break, fails over, look like it may start to crack off again, back to the VWAP, doesn't do it. Finally surges up through new high of day. Are you kidding? Well, not up to new high of day, but finally testing through new high of day, through 12 again, I should say, really. And that's kind of your good breakout point. But again, the upper shadow where you could run into resistance, this is just buying with momentum. So I'm still waiting on my hands, literally sitting on my hands, as we say in chat. Finally just kind of showing you when obviously my first alert that I want to get to is around 42 after, which you can see this is why I finally alerted. And you can totally tell. Look at the double bottom right here at that 1330 mark. Or, well, I say double bottom, but the lower shadow, 1330. Lower shadow again, right at 1330. Knowing if it cracks that 1330 mark, what? You're going to dump back even more. So that's what I'm kind of waiting for. Kind of on the short side maybe, or what? Also going, hey, because Deck was saying something about, of course, what plays too short, what not too short. I'm like, definitely short this as it gives back gains almost every spike. And just to get into that, I'll get into that in just a moment. I'm going to get into that in just a moment because, I don't want to mess up the intraday 1 minute chart I have going right here. So at 43 after, 42 after, obviously the alert, hey, dump of this, crack of this, we're dumping back more. 43 after, and it's starting to, which is funny, it's starting to happen. And look how fast it happens. Waiting for a bit more of a spike than going in on short. So when I alert this, it just turned 43 after, close to it. It's around the $14 mark. Of course, we have up to $14.50. And then literally, right, look at this. What did I just alert, team? Here is the spike I wanted. Look at this spike. And then look at the dump right afterward. Wow. And of course, getting a little bit of the emojis because you're happening so fast. But literally, I'm saying, no, definitely short this guy. This is one definitely to short. I'm waiting on one more spike, and then I'm going in short. And look how this literally goes spike straight up to 15, and then fades right. As soon as this went up, I didn't have time to even put an order in. I just market ordered in, boom, went over to market, or what? Of course, I'm not on Thinkorswim. I was on Lightspeed, but I just market ordered the short sale. I already had the shorts already located, boom, and just pressed the short button, ready to rock and roll. So that's why I shorted that RHE right there. And then, of course, it came flying right back on down. And a perfect short opportunity right there. Exactly the way I called it. And then, as you can see, one thing I do want to get to, look what ended up being the high of day. $15 on the dot. And then the other really great alert I really wanted to get into for, let's see here, from RHE was this one right here. Right at 1010, where we're kind of moving on along. We're moving on along right around 1010. We're right around right here. Testing the 13, that 13.3 area again. Even though we did it here, we keep kind of testing. We're going down even further though this time. That's crazy. This test happened right at, that was 3 minutes later. But the alert here at 10:09. Another test, bottom of, another test of bottom of channel 13.6 area keeps testing that. It will eventually crack. So right here at 10:09, we're right here in this channel, We're forming this channel right here, right? Another test of the bottom of this channel 13.6 area. Which I was saying 13.6 really was, right around 13.6. Right there. It was about the bottom of that channel. Had one little candle that went below it. But we weren't pushing. We were going up to the top of it every time. That's fine. But we weren't going through that. We needed to get back through, get to 14.5, get back to 15. We weren't doing that. And right as I alerted that at 10:09, it's just so weird how these happen. And I do this when I go live on Fridays. You need to join me live when I do this on Fridays. I will be going over a play within a minute of it, me kind of alerting it, kind of seeing what's going on here. And go, this doesn't push soon. Literally, 10:09, keeps testing that. It will eventually crack. And the crack, just as I alert. Look at that. Whammy. And then right on down, it went. And then we never saw $15 again yesterday. So just kind of noticing those things, team, right? Oh, we did. Okay, we finally did. I thought we did. I was like, hold on, I think we finally did. And again, here's one thing I'm loving to see. And RHE finally, and I mean finally, did something that it normally never does. Look how many upper shadows it has. Remember me saying about the past chart history? Go look at it. Let's just look at it real quick before, the spike that was yesterday that really held its gains. Upper shadow, 1, 2. We're 2 of 2, 3 of 3. I mean, I could keep going through here to where I think there was one right here that happened 2 days prior of yesterday, right there, that held its gains on a decently spiking day. I mean, I really wouldn't call that holding its gains. It's giving back quite. I mean, that's decent. That's decent though. But that's, I guess, kind of decent too with the rest of these. I mean, that's half its gains. I mean, most of these are half their gains, if not well more than half their gains. So yesterday, finally, now let's kind of zoom in. Look at that. Holding most of that gain there was great. But I wanted just to show you what I was looking at and why I was saying, short this. It's shortable and can be shorted. And really, if I would have held it, went all the way down to 1180. It held 1180, but finally, and look at that recovery. This is great to see for penny stock traders. ISNS yesterday. Look at this move and look at it hold its gains. I mean, what a move. I'm alerting it early on, too. Let's go back. One of those places that wasn't, we see these not doing anything early on. I'm thinking this is the portion of the move we had here, right? So ISNS at 56 after, building this nice what? This nice flag here. Here's the pole. Here's your flag. Went up, now back down. We could have kept going and form longer when we didn't. But nice build, a nice flag. Break a 770, next leg up. Break a 770, next leg up. Whammy, right up. And then, of course, holding its gains. 765 support, right? So that's what I was wanting to see. 765 support bounce. Right? So what time was that? 57 after? 57 after. Where are we at here? 57 after. Obviously before a pullback 2. And you can see where that pullback comes in. Nice 1006. Look at this. We get multiple candles here. Now, yes, granted it does go down a little bit further, but 65 is where I wanted the portion of that move to get in there for sure. Off these upper shadows, right back up. Close to testing high of day. What? Building the same. But then, finally, continues to push. They're holding their gains are what we're starting to see. And that's when in hotter times, team, and look what it held. It held its halt up. That's essentially the area that it held. See the old halt up area where it halted up? Another stock halting up. Held the halt up price. Look how it held that area and consolidated. U-shaped-ish back through the VWAP, right? And then, what? Tested high of day. Built another kind of flag wedge, another flag wedge, kept popping to a new high of day in after hours. Great to see. Now today, of course, not doing as much, a little bit of a red to green at the open, but still what? Somewhat holding this, as you just look at today as where it opened, it's not completely giving back all its gains. PRPO, finally today, giving back some of its gains, but a move from yesterday, 178, all the way up to today to 918. I mean, we're talking in a 2-day span, right? Of almost a 500, 400% move, close to that area. When you go from essentially $2 all the way up to 918, that's a big move. A great, again, holding its gains. I mean, it's just great to see these stocks actually holding their gains. Today, we had 3 stocks halted up at the same time. Let's get into it in the first 30 minutes. BLRX, I should say, had the great open, right? Had the great, or I should say pre-market move, kind of faded off. That was one play. Now we had others that halted up. Let's see, what was it? If I can get through these. I know Reed halted up today. That wasn't the one I was speaking of, though, but it was close to early in the morning. This halted up at an hour after the market opened, but it was TYHT. Here are the other ones. Look at this. In the first 30 minutes, we had multiple stocks going bananas. This is the market open, immediate up into halts. TYHT. Great. I mean, to see from 1218, I say 1218, from 12 to 18 is what I meant to say, but from 12 to 18, in the first few minutes, Vino, it was running. I had that still pulled up from Friday for whatever reason. Then it kind of did stuff yesterday and after hours. Then again today, look at the same move. Looks almost just like what it did yesterday and after hours, does it not? Same kind of move, just not as big. Great move from Vino. What else was moving this morning? I think it was PRPO. PRPO, that was the other one this morning. It was the one that was also halted up. There's a couple halts up. Here's one halt up. Here's a second halt up. And I got in on PRPO. I didn't get in early on, but I knew the first little move here, but I knew I wanted to pull back out of this halt. I wanted to pull back to this area right here, to 7 775, and I got filled. And this candle right here is this hit what 778. That's the candle I got filled. Right back up, and I was out. That's exactly what I wanted. I wanted one right off this area. It was like, I think it was 775 or 780 area, 785, whatever it was. And there's where you're getting filled right there. It may have been 785. Look how it held again for a quick little bounce. But we had 4 stocks: PRPO, TYHT. Of course, none of them want to pull up now. But Vino, we had 4 stocks halted up, at the, close to the market open today, which was nice to see. And of course, BLRX that had, positive phase 3 trials. And look at BLRX continuing to climb. And this is kind of what we're seeing, kind of very ugly, right? We're seeing nice, okay, great play, nice little trend line here. Then we get to squeeze out the trend line, halt up. Okay, cool, let's go and let's keep going. No, we fade, halt down, go all the way back down to 440. Yeah, okay, making our way back up to the open area. Whammy, just huge volume candles coming, not volume, but huge buying volume comes in. Surge from, 480 all the way up to, a 60-cent spike in 2 candles. 2 hours with the market open. Okay, and then we hit what I almost said pre-market, but the high of day resistance from earlier, from that $6 area, that high of day resistance, I think that was pre-market. No, it went a little higher than pre-market. But again, kept hitting 6, and really was the third touch breakout. Kind of failed there. Usually we love those third touch breakouts. Maybe you don't want to consider it a third touch breakout, but if that didn't a true touch, but still to me it is. Again though, we just kept testing on this trend line. Look at this trend line that's forming here. You could start it from right here. There's your starter. Here's your first, where you have to put the trend line in. Now you've got your first true bounce. Now we're bouncing again. Now we're bouncing again. And then the other play holding up today is COCP. So now we have back-to-back days of plays. this is up from $1.20 in after hours yesterday, all the way up to $3.44. We're hitting 174% on the day. BEAU to C team. AK47 over at Deckmar Trades via Tradecaster.com. Had to jump in live actually today to go live for Sean. And join me, of course, every Friday where I take over for the man. Until next time, we'll see y'all then.